What is going on, you guys? Welcome back. This is Patrick, otherwise known as Scotty. Sorry I'm not as peppy today. It's been a really trying week. To say that work sucked the life out of me this week would be an understatement. It was probably one of the hardest weeks I've had since in the last 6 months. Um, it's it's been rough. Not just physically but mentally. And then, I interviewed for a job, and um, the weirdest thing was they told me that, oh, first I went for an interview that lasted an hour. Mind you, I'm driving 40 minutes to this interview. Um, you'll go there, great interview. They immediately asked me, I think it was the next day, they asked me if I could come in for a tour. So I go in. Yeah, it was so on Friday they asked, or Thursday or Friday they asked me, scheduled it for Monday afternoon. I go there and I'm there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I thought it was fantastic. They were telling that, I was getting introduced as the newest employee. Um, you know, they're they're wondering if I'm gonna accept the position. I said absolutely. I love it. It's gonna be challenging, but hey, I think I really like what I see. And then at the end, they basically said, "Welcome to the team." So they were like, "Oh, you should hear back in like a day or two." So I I thought I had it. Um, well, come so then the next day, I didn't hear anything. So like later that evening, I just sent an email to the HR manager that I had interviewed with and said, "Hey, thank you for the opportunity. I'm really interested in the position. Please let me know." Um, didn't hear back. So then I contacted again on Thursday. I said, "Hey, I'm just wondering what's going on, if I'm still being considered. I haven't heard anything." Um, and and I started getting phone calls for other interviews, but I really like this position. Um, so then she took her all day to respond. She said, "Oh, we haven't made a decision. We should know by the end of the week." Well, today's now Saturday. Still haven't heard anything. So either they're waiting till Monday, or I didn't get the position. I'm just knowing. I know you guys are gonna be like, he's being really pessimistic, but if uh, if you guys really knew my life, when I say that if it wasn't for the bad luck in my life, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Um, I bust my butt um, to have the little that I have, and and I'll go through, like, I had my business. I worked 10, 15 years so I could, building up skills, building up knowledge to have my aquaponics farm. And then it's destroyed it, and then, I started it before COVID. So it's like COVID wasn't even in the picture, wasn't even being mentioned when I formed my company and when I was filling out the loan documents, and going through that whole process. It wasn't until we signed for the loan and got the lease that COVID actually started happening. And by then it was already too late. Like, we couldn't just go back and stop. We had already signed leases and things like that. Um, so I mean, when you talk about bad luck, I mean, I wait over 10 years to start a business, and it's all taken away just because of just terrible timing. I mean, I tried. I struggled hard, and when I lost that business, I lost almost everything. And then I made a terrible mistake. I went into Chapter 13 bankruptcy to save my truck, thinking that that's what you do, and that the lawyers that I hired were there to help me. That's not the case. Um, what I'm finding now is that there are more lawyers that are willing to rip you off, even your own lawyers, willing to rip you off than actually be good. Honestly, I'm not saying all lawyers are bad. That's not what I'm saying. But the ones that I've dealt with have been god awful. Um, actually got to the point where, um, like, they didn't want to be my lawyer anymore, and I didn't want them to be my lawyer, because I went from a $4,000 Chapter 13 bankruptcy with just a truck, um, as the only thing that I was paying on, to then now owing over $8,000 to this law firm, and and because of that they've extended. They were extending my Chapter 13. So when first it was going to be like 2 years, and then it went to 3 years, and then next thing you know, it was going to be 6 years, and I think I was going on 7 years. And then every year I'm in this thing, they're adding more fees because they're constantly calling me about BS, and they're constantly sending me stuff, and they're constantly billing me for everything, every little thing. They're billing me $200 here, $300 there, $400 here, and they're just tacking it on to my bill for bankruptcy. So so I actually just let that get dismissed. It's not a great move because I don't get any reprieve from some of the business debt that I had from 4 years ago, and my credit actually just in the last 2 weeks has just plummeted because a lot of my stuff went from bankruptcy protection, so Chapter 13 bankruptcy, to charged off, and that just when you have a bunch of companies doing that all at once, I think my credit scores dropped 100 points in the last 2 weeks, which makes it extremely hard to get loans, especially when you're trying to start a new business. And it's going to probably take, and because the credit system's rigged to keep a lot of us poor, once you start having once you go through a bad situation and it hurts your credit, it takes forever. Those of you, I mean, I'm with the majority of the company that has fair to bad credit. Most of the country has fair to bad credit. And, God bless you for those that haven't had to go through the hard times, or have had safety safety nets, having family and friends that can help you. Not all of us are so lucky. I've basically been on my own since 18. Haven't spoken to haven't had, I mean, aside from moments here and there, I haven't spent any time with family since I was like 26, maybe a little, yeah, about 26, maybe 24. It's been so long because I'm 43 now. So, I'm kind of rambling, but it's been a tough week. It's really tested, um, not just my patience, but just kind of just my mental health. I'm not dangerous. I'm not suicidal. Nothing like that. But last night I actually put something on my Facebook page. I said, like, why do I even try when I know that all that's going to happen is I'm just going to keep getting kicked down. Um, I feel like no matter what I do, no matter how hard I fight, I can't get past. I'm only allowed to be so successful in life, and and maybe there are some of you that understand that, they feel that way. I mean, I work hard, and I bust my tail. I've destroyed my body working my job, and I've gotten stepped on. I've gotten pissed on. I mean, not literally, but I've gotten stepped over, passed over. I mean, I just this job that I'm in now, I got passed over, all because the 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 now former lead lead tech like the newest guy the best. Had nothing to do with knowledge, had nothing to do with just he just liked his personality, he liked him. And now he's kind of paying for it. I'm kind of glad I didn't get it, just because it's been an absolute crap show. I'm trying not to swear too much on here, so um even though I don't really make this for kids. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at right now. Is just really discouraged. I've been dealing with some scammers on Kickstarter that have made false pledges, and then they back out. They're trying to get information. I refuse to give out any information about any backers or anything like that. I will fight that tooth and nail. I will never sell. I'll never sell out to make money. So I won't ever sell people's information. I won't ever give out confidential information just to make a quick buck. So, but unfortunately, Kickstarter has tons of scammers. So I mean, I've got one person on there now. That I still have the $5,000 pledge. I don't know if it's legitimate. I don't know if I don't know if next week or a day before the whole because I have 42 days left. I don't know if on the 41st day they just pull my pledge. because it's not like you're putting money into it right away. You're just pledging. You're basically saying, "Hey, I plan on giving this money." It doesn't you don't give it right away. It's not like GoFundMe, where that money gets taken out and it gets held aside. That's not how this works. So people are able to just back out at any time for any reason, and it's just been frustrating. Um, but and then dealing with the whole watching my credit plummet in the last week, really mainly this last week, but it's kind of started 2 weeks ago. I thought it was just going to be, here's 5 points, but no, it's been pretty bad, and it's been tough. It's been a rough week. So I apologize that my video's not it's perky, but the update is that we're at $5,000 still on Kickstarter. Would really love your help. I know I'm asking a lot from strangers, but what are you gonna do? You know, I can't get a loan. I'm trying. I'm seeing if somebody will give me a $10,000, $15,000 small business. It's called a micro loan. Um, so for some businesses, it's like $25,000 or more is considered a loan. Some places it's $50,000 or more is considered a full loan, not a micro loan. Anything less is typically considered a micro loan. So I'm working on that. I'm talking with the city of Racine um, about some matching grants. Because like I said, I'm planning on spending at least somewhere around $10,000 of my own personal money to do this food trailer. Um, and if there's a program where the city will match that, that'll help. Because then once I spend that money, I can get that reimbursed back. I can put that towards buying more equipment. Um, so I mean, if I could get at least a $15,000 match, that would pretty much pay for the trailer and all the equipment and be able to get going. Um, but I mean, it'd be really nice if I could come up with, you know, another $20,000 to really to hire people to get the right equipment. Not I don't know how long this grant would take to get paid. So I'm just kind of having options, trying to give myself some options. If I can raise all $22,000 on Kickstarter, I wouldn't even bother. Um, and then I spoke with the Hmong Chamber of Commerce. They were kind of optimistic, but once again, it's based on credit. At least a portion of it's based on credit, and seeing with all the Chapter 13 crap I've been dealing with, I don't think I'm going to get approved. So I just kind of backed off. I contacted another organization that specializes in like lower credit, but specializing with minorities because I'm a minority. I'm Asian. I was born and raised in South Korea, lived there for 7 years, naturalized as a child. I'm also a 6-year Air Force veteran. I was an aircraft electrical environmental systems specialist. So did that for 6 years, honorably discharged. So and I'm trying to see if I qualify for any veterans grants for small business, even if it's like a couple $1,000. It'll help a lot. Um, so this week I received my Wisconsin seller's permit, so I finally I could actually sell things. And then tomorrow I'm actually going to meet with a commercial kitchen in Kenosha, about 3 minutes away from where the Kenosha Harbor Market will be, because we did get approved for the Kenosha Harbor Market. I actually just signed all the documents yesterday. And so I'm still planning on getting a trailer in February. Haven't don't have an exact timeline yet, but hopefully in February, so that I can start building it out. But that's a whole nother ball of wax because I can't build it here where I live because I live in a condo, and I can't be cutting metal and all that stuff. And I don't think I could even fit that trailer in the garage. I have a detached garage, and I can't just leave it out in the parking lot. So I'm gonna have to rent space, but I'm gonna have to rent space where it's big enough because I would want to keep it enclosed because I don't want it getting stolen, especially while I got holes cut into it for concession windows and things like that. So that's another couple $1,000 I'm gonna have to spend on a space rental at the minimum, because I might have to do like a year rental because a lot of places aren't doing short-term rentals. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like I said, I'm seeing Commercial Kitchen tomorrow afternoon. Um, seems like a really great guy. Um, just kind of just what I can afford. And then to help with the Kickstarter campaign, so I made a little bit of a change. Um, I didn't get rid of anything, so I just added a couple of new rewards tiers, and I realized that not everybody wants to eat kimchi. It might just not be your cup of tea, and that's okay. That's fine. However, half of the business is also cheesecakes, and that's something that I've been doing for over 20 years. A lot of these recipes I've been using for 20 years or more. I do a French silk pie that I think I've spent like 24 years pretty much perfecting, um, even though that's not on the list. But basically, instead of some of the rewards where it listed kimchi, I actually added a similar monetary reward that includes cheesecake. Now, for like the $50 cheesecake package, all you're getting is just cheesecake. And just a little warning, like if you're from outside of Wisconsin, and I have to ship it, there I did put a $20 charge for shipping, which doesn't even cover the cost of shipping because I'm gonna have to ship it overnight, or at least a 2 day. At the minimum, I would have to ship it 2 day, and I have to pack it with ice or cold packets or dry ice, just so that it stays fresh. So it's probably going to cost somewhere around $30 to $40 to ship it. Um, so I'm not really. So at the end of the day, I won't make anything really. But you're basically just kind of fronting me the money now, and then you'll get it in May and June. But then I also added multiple cheesecake packages. So I lowered maybe some free entrees, but you're getting a cheesecake, and I believe I did that all the way up to $2,500. I believe I just duplicated some of the packages and just replaced some items with cheesecakes. Um, there's a list of cheesecakes that you can get. Things like fudge brownie chocolate chip. Um, I believe I did white chocolate raspberry, white chocolate strawberry, pecan pie cheesecake, which is a favorite. I might I think I forgot one. Oh, carrot cake cheesecake. I think I might have forgot to add one, but I can't do like the turtle cheesecake. The turtle cheesecake alone costs about $50 to $60 just in material. Now, and you're probably and so that the reason why I can't go anything lower than 50 is because the cost of the cheesecake is really high. And that's because I use really high quality ingredients. I don't use the cheap name brand or off brand stuff. Like I use organic eggs. I use really good sugar. I use the Philadelphia cream cheese. I use really good graham crackers, and then everything is made by hand, so it takes time. So I'm not really even making money off the labor. I'm just kind of really making money off the supplies. So I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys can help out. If you guys want some cheesecake and you want to help me out, basically you're just pre-purchasing cheesecake via Kickstarter. So if you I could really use your guys' help. I probably if we just did 25, it's not even 25. So if we did the $50 cheesecake, I would need about 110 people. Um, if we did if you did $250, I would need about 88 people. So it's doable. But I do need your help. And um, and whatever you believe or whoever you believe, uh, keep me in your thoughts, keep me in your prayers because I'm struggling a little bit. And pray for good luck or best wishes, or whatever it is or whoever it is that you believe in. I could use all the help I can get. So um, that's where I'm at. um, no other updates. I will probably do a video tomorrow, or at least a post, because I'm trying out. I'm going to be making some homemade mandu, which is Korean dumplings, that I'm looking at adding to the menu. So just be on the lookout for that. And I'll see you guys later.